We're on the roof of Building 146, which is a relatively new building on campus. On the ground floor, it has the atmospheric science team, and then on the floor below us, it's got the facility for airborne atmospheric measurement. As part of the Living Lab and Urban Observatory we're setting up here at Cranfield, we're starting to deploy sensors here on the roof. It's got safe working access, so students and researchers can come up here. The Urban Observatory fits into what we call the Living Lab initiative. So it's using the whole campus site as an opportunity to run experiments and teaching. So we work across all of the schools and we have a working group. So they identify challenges that they've got on campus, and that then allows us to tailor group projects. So many of the group projects that MSc students will be doing in the environment, they're actually focused on real issues that we have on the campus. And those real issues actually fit into bigger issues that we have nationally and internationally. So we've got an urban observatory which is putting up about £1 million worth of sensors. We're one of 6 universities who are involved in a big research project looking at urban observatories, and the data will then feed into work looking at how the campus behaves, how urban systems work, how we better design the urban environment, and how we study things like COVID-19. So as part of this, we're putting up a lot of air quality sensors both on campus and elsewhere across the Oxford-Cambridge ARC area, and we need to have a reference site with high quality readings. So in this building here we've got a very high quality set of sensors that measure particulates, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides and things like ozone. So what we've got here is some of the equipment. It doesn't look very exciting, but this box here is helping us to measure very, very ultrafine particulates, the sort of particulates that come out of diesel vehicles, the sort of aircraft we have around here, and things like the biomass boilers. Over here we've got a weather station, so it's helping us to monitor the weather on site, and we have some other weather stations elsewhere. But the nice part about this area is students can come up here, deploy sensors themselves, do their own research. So we've got these very expensive equipment here for monitoring the air quality on campus. This is an example of one of the smaller sensors, and the sort of sensor that we're going to be putting out across campus as part of the Urban Observatory. This is called an AQ mesh box, and it measures a number of different air quality parameters. And they're used, as I say, by local authorities. The thing that's of interest here at Cranfield is our colleagues who are based downstairs, they actually designed this device. There's many thousands of these that have been deployed, and colleagues downstairs have these around the world. So they've got them in places like Malaysia and in Tanzania. So as part of the Urban Observatory, we'll be bringing in the data from around the world from these sorts of devices. A number of us are about to deploy these devices in our gardens to look at COVID-19 and how the lockdown has affected air quality. The other exciting thing is we're also going down to very low-cost sensors. So the sensor in here is probably about £20. So the aim eventually is to design our own sensors, so we can put maybe tens or hundreds of these sensors around campus. The aim is we're going to be setting up a hub, an online hub where the data's all made available. So it can be used in teaching, it can be used in research, and it's already being used in modules. So some of the SWE modules, they're using the data from the weather stations on the solar farm and the water treatment works. A couple of examples, we have a student who's working with Heathrow Airport who's looking at de-icers. So when you fly in the winter, they spray the aircraft with de-icers. Those de-icers can get into the environment. So he's using our network of water quality sensors to start to study how this happens at Cranfield and what the lessons are for Heathrow. We're working with water utilities, so we're going to be setting up about 100 sensors throughout the water treatment works. That's going to have lessons for new water treatment technologies, so with the big water utilities. We have the Green Aviation Initiative that's going on campus. So there's work around how do we develop green fuels, etc. I'm interested in resilience. So things like flood events and events that happen on campus, how can we learn so that we can better design infrastructure so that we don't get hit by things like flooding, or we don't get buildings that are overheated due to climate change.